Yo. Oh shit. My my greens. I've been video chatting with work a lot. And there was a big giant green screen behind me all the time. At least that way it was just half, but how's everybody doing? Here in my ratty old PMU sweatshirt, ready to play some Mardu Yorion Goblins. We ran through a couple like practice leagues with it. Yes, when I say practice leagues, tournament practice room games. Yesterday, I streamed that straight to the Discord. A lot of people were enjoying it. I was glad to see that. For a few reasons, just because one, a lot of those guys on the Discord that actually talk are very negative and they don't like brewing a lot of the time. And you know, I have to brew not just because I don't want to play the same thing over and over again, but because our deck isn't in a great spot, so we might as well brew. So anyway, here we are. We're gonna go over the deck, I guess, pretty in depth before we jump in. I'm not gonna go into the mana base too closely for a couple reasons. I kind of wish I had a cooler basic planes than this, but I don't know. It is what it is. So I mean, obviously it's a Yorion deck, 80 cards. Aether Vial in this version. Something Aspiring Spike always says, I don't know if you watch him. If you don't, you probably should if you're interested in brewing at all, or just the state of the modern format. Something Yorion decks get to do is have really good mana, which, you know, may not be obvious at first, but you get to run more fetch lands. You basically never run out of fetchables, and your mana is just like more stable. You just, I have found that. I've played through 3 matches with this, you know, not against real decks, but 3 matches nonetheless. So the mana has been really stable. Just 32 lands. We've got 10 fetch lands. It's possible that, in fact, I don't want to say this should definitely be another red fetch land, but it's possible it should be. But I liked the idea that you could get the basics and then, you know, the shock lands that you were interested in one way or another, right? So we're running 10 fetches. We're running the 4 anti-hovels because I didn't want to think about it. We were running 3 blood crypts because it used to be 2, and we have, you know, 10 more lands than usual. So the 4 Cavern of Souls. We have 5 total basics, 3 mountains, 1 swamp, 1 plains. Just in case somebody else blood moons us. We're not running blood moon in this version ourselves. Maybe we should be. I don't know. We have the fantastic Savai Triome, which is Mardu Triome, which is red, white, black Triome, which comes into play tapped and cycles. Fetching that often on turn 1 when we can. And then we have Graven Cairns and Rugged Prairie. We also have 2 Sacred Foundry, which I didn't mention after the Blood Crypts. I'm sorry. So Rugged Prairie and Graven Cairns are basically the same card, just one's red-white and one's black-red, if you've never seen it. They make colorless mana on their own, but they filter out to, you know, some combination of red and the other color. So for Graven Cans, you can get black-black or red-red or the combination. And Rugged Prairie is that. But for white, you know, you could screw yourself by drawing 2 colorless lands and a Conspicuous Snoop, But by playing Yorion Goblins in the first place, we're kind of saying that the combo and playing Snoop on 2 isn't exactly where we want to be anyway. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. There's two main reasons to be Mardu besides Yorion. Obviously Yorion is a white card, so if we want to play it, we want to cast it, we're gonna have to play white. But Ephemerate, another huge reason to be white. You know, if Yorion's getting your deck, chances are Ephemerate is. We've kind of built our deck to make it so that Ephemerate is better than usual. When I say better than usual, when the question of should I add another one of this card came up, the question, does it have an ETB, is like at the top of mind. So, you know, 1 Skirk Prospector here, but 3 Mog War Marshals. If there were a better goblin with an ETB, I would probably play that over Crater Maker, but Crater Maker is just so good. We have 3 Pyre of Heroes just because the deck is bigger and it's gonna kind of tie everything together. I'll explain that in a minute. But one of the reasons to be white. So now this is like just kind of free. It's kind of like a 5th Ephemerate, but it also is an infinite combo with Kiki Jiki. I don't think it hurts to play 1. And then another huge reason to be white is in the sideboard over here, which is Mark of Asylum. Mark of Asylum is an old hit from way back when Green Red Tron was a thing and I was playing Elves. When people are playing a lot of red spells like Fury or Fire Ice or even just Unholy Heat and Lightning Bolt, Mark of Asylum is at its best. So Mark of Asylum is an enchantment for 1 and a white that says prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to creatures you control. So the idea being, you play this against a blue-red deck, you play this against any deck with a red sweeper, you know, all your stuff is going to stick. Bad against black removal, bad against white removal, but really good against red removal. So that's the idea here. And that's really what we struggle against the most, I would say. So something like this would allow you to force your combo through in a blue-red matchup. That being said, I'm not entirely sure what our sideboard plan is versus them, but we'll get into that a little bit later. We might just have too many cards decided. So those are our reasons to be white. If you look at other 80-card Yorion piles that have combos that are creature value decks, the common thread among them is usually, besides Vile in the Death and Taxes versions, that they have some way to tutor all of their cards, like Court of Calling, like Eladamri's Call, like Imperial Recruiter, like Eldritch Evolution, and you want as many of those as you can get. So obviously we play Goblin Matron and a bunch of goblins, so it's like an actual reason to be playing goblins. Like, it's not just because I like goblins, right? Like, this deck could be just better than other things because of the toolbox you get with these goblins, and in combination, Pyre of Heroes. Pyre of Heroes, none of the other decks play it because they're not really tribal decks, and their cards search for things, you know, just based on converted mana cost, and they don't have the tribal restriction. But Pyre of Heroes is actually like an endless value engine, especially with the cards that we specifically play, but, you know, when you're in any tribe. So these copies of Goblin Matron and Pyre of Heroes kind of really tie the whole deck together and give you access to every single card you could imagine, and just let you go way over the top of things to find the perfect thing to ephemerate or something like that. So that's the whole idea. We have a couple cute things. Number one, I said Restoration Angel was kind of free. It's like a 5th ephemerate. It combos with Kiki. Bloodline Pretender is doing double duty here in that you can name Goblin and you can ephemerate Mog War Marshal. or Sling Gang Lieutenant, and it'll get pretty big pretty quickly, so that's neat. But it's also a changeling, so you can actually use Pyre of Heroes to pyre this away into a Restoration Angel. So I just wanted to have some way to grab Restoration Angel off of Pyre if we were going to be playing one of them. This was what I landed on. You could also go with Mirror Entity. The reason I went with Bloodline Pretender, and this might end up not making the cut, so take this with a gigantic grain of salt. I wanted to play a Toolbox Goblin Engineer. And when I say a Toolbox Goblin Engineer, I don't mean a Goblin Engineer with a toolbox. I mean put that card specifically in our toolbox. Now, we're not running Ensnaring Bridge or, you know, Chromatic Star or Mistress Bauble or Damping Sphere or, you know, any of the cards we could with Goblin Engineer. And maybe eventually we will. Maybe 2 toolboxes is what you want. But right now, just looking at it from the deck editor, you know, the thing that sticks out to me is that I have 7 artifacts that I don't want to see multiples of, really. So, like, if I ever draw 2 of one and not the other, I can search for the other one, or I can go get Bloodline Pretender. So it is kind of good. It sounds so dumb, but like literally the first match I played, it came up where I went Goblin Engineer into a natural Bloodline Pretender that I played, that I had drawn, and I tutored up a Pyre of Heroes and I won that way. Now I was playing against the nonsense deck in the practice room, but it's not like in a long game against Control, which is supposedly the #1 deck in the format. You know, things like that can happen. A lot of the rest of it is just goblins we might play in the sideboard or toolbox, but just all shoved into the main deck. Chain Whirler, Pashlik Mons, Goblin Chieftain. We're playing the 3rd Ringleader. We're playing a 3rd Sling Gang just because the deck is a little bit bigger. So, you know, you still want to draw them a healthy amount of the time. What's the last thing to mention? I know there was one. Oh, yeah. Crib Swap used to be main, and maybe Crib Swap should still be main. But Crib Swap is just a white exile effect that you can tutor up. It's like Warren Weirding, but better, because even on a, you know, a board full of creatures, you can tag their stuff. And then to top it all off, this is the very top of the chain, other than Kiki Jiki. We have Goblin Dark Dwellers. Goblin Dark Dwellers, it lets you flash any instant or sorcery with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard back without paying its mana cost. So it's really, it seems dumb. Seems like, why are you playing this 5-mana spell? We're only really paying, you know what? I think that actually might push Crib Swap main, now that I'm saying it. But you know what? We'll just move the Crater Maker to the sideboard because it doesn't fit with the main plan as well. It's just so good, though. It's tough. But anyway, you can flashback Crib Swap, but really the thing it's there for is to flashback Ephemerates that you've already cast and have done their thing. You know, Goblin Dark Dwellers, flashing back Ephemerate, blinking Goblin Dark Dwellers, like, to get another Crib Swap, or, you know, there's a lot of things you can do. If you know, if the rebound of Ephemerate hits Goblin Dark Dwellers, you get to cast the Ephemerate again. How's it going, Gray Fox? It's not there yet. I just brewed this up last night. I haven't updated Stream Deck or anything like that. I could do that. I don't even remember how. I might have turned off Stream Decker. Let me see. But this is, you know, the whole idea. And now the question is, should we be playing Solitude? Should we be playing, that was me, you heard. Yeah, I turned off Stream Decker. Should we be playing Solitude? Should we be playing Fury? It sounds like we should, given that we have Ephemerate. I don't know about Solitude, but definitely, probably Definitely, probably, maybe at least one copy of Fury. Maybe I'll just like, maybe these should be rest in pieces. So let's like add one of these. Maybe we cut Thoughtseize. Nah, I mean, how do you cut down to less than 4 of something? I don't know. It also seems unlikely that you should be cutting from 4 Leyline of the Voids when you're running 80 cards. So maybe like this is just better than a Dreadboard. You stick with 4 Leylines. Anyway, we're gonna take this for a spin. It's definitely a work in progress. But the people in the practice room like really didn't stand a chance against it. So the next step is to take it into a league. So here we go. We'll see how it goes. I mean, this should almost definitely not be a Terminate now that I'm looking, right? I mean, why not a 3rd copy of Fury if we're gonna have Ephemerate? Yeah. Yeah, I think that is the case. Let's fix this before we lose the opportunity. Just leverage our Ephemerate playing as much as we can. Luckily, I bought Furies before they were $30. So I just happened to have 3. Perfect number, I think. We'll get back into this. Hey, Rafi. It is. I shut off. I shut off Stream Decker. I hated it. I hated keeping up with it. I didn't like the way it looked. I like to brew on this stream, and they're not. You saw what just happened 1 second ago. I just removed a card at the very last second before getting into this league. So like that Stream Decker would have definitely been out of date. But this is, we just went over it pretty in depth. I mean, I'm gonna keep the deck on screen as often as possible. Just for everybody. If you have any questions, like, feel free to ask. Like, we are very much at the stage where why no copies of this card is a valid question without telling me what to cut. Just because, you know, I showed this deck to somebody yesterday and they were like, you know, you could probably play Fury in your sideboard instead of anything else. And I just hadn't thought of it, even though I own them, right? Like, it was something I tested in regular Goblins. I just am not used to having Ephemerate. Tuganaxos is our opponent. We're going to reveal Yorion, and they are never going to expect that we're going to play Pyre of Heroes and Aether Vial and Snoop. This is a keepable hand. This is the type of hand you'd keep when you weren't on, you know, Yorion Goblins. Let's see if we get a tiny bit lucky here. I don't know if it's worth shocking into play. We have no idea what they're on. We do want to be able to play Snoop if it comes to that, but we're probably playing Pyre. Let's just play basic Mountain, not reveal any other information. And here, this is when people talk about... So, something I've been saying for a while is that, you know, Aether Vial is the worst it's been, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad card or that it's not powerful. And a lot of the argument for why it's good is that it's a lightning rod. You know, if they're using Prismatic Ending to interact with that, maybe they don't have another removal spell for your Snoop or your Pyre. And this is exactly the type of hand where that is a boon. That is actually valuable. I'm gonna pull this out so I don't forget, because I don't often play with companions. I'm gonna put it up here. Dragon's Rage Channeler is exactly what you never want to see across from the table, but it does look like it's domain Dragon's Rage Channeler based on this one Stomping Ground. It could just be Zoomer Jund. Not really sure. I'm not even sure which one I would rather play against, to be perfectly honest. You know, if I play Snoop out, it kind of gives them an opportunity to interact. So I'm just gonna inform them that I'm goblins and put Pyre of Heroes into play, and maybe just confuse the hell out of them. Oh, that's my food. 1 second. I ordered sushi. I was gonna cook, but I wanted to be able to get this league in before it was too late. It's really what it comes down to. Just because I want to do other things with my night, and I'm probably only playing 1 league with this. 2 is too many. So our opponent is confused enough that they haven't played anything. Even while I'm up and about getting my sushi, so sorry I wasn't here to entertain you, and that they weren't either. So I ordered from this place because I have a $10 off coupon, and it was still a fucking $1 million. Didn't do anything. I didn't order that much. It's just like they only give you those coupons because the fees are insane. Dude, I got a king crab avocado roll, and it looks like they skimped on the crab so bad. Is this ASMR? Was. Call me Amaranth. ASMR Pro. Guy is just not doing anything. All right. Sorry, this person could be an incompetent woman as well. Not just an incompetent man. You shouldn't assume. Just kidding. They're not incompetent because they had something to do. So, hit me for 1. Shock this in. Dragon's Rage Channeler. We are about to take them to the fucking cleaners. This is gonna be brutal. Let me make sure I didn't make the bad decision. Yes. Okay, are you guys ready for this? Can you see what's about to happen? That's also a good top deck, but it doesn't, not really important. Oh my god, can you see what's about to happen? Oh man, I was gonna sacrifice Snoop and go get that, but you know, instead we'll just play it uncounterably. Can you see what's about to happen? Wow, that was brutal. Oh my god. I'll never forget. Whenever I say that was oh man, that'll do it. So I went to Carnegie Mellon. Steve Rubin, I don't know if you know who Steve Rubin is, former Magic the Gathering professional player on the Pro Tour, not professional really, but he went to Pitt. He went to University of Pitt, so he would play at the CMU Magic Club a lot. He's now the lead designer for Legends of Runeterra, which is a legitimately good game. But there was a card. So I was in a late night draft with him one night. We're not like good friends. I just know who he. I happened to be at that draft that, you know, the Weddies were at. We're just gonna take out Engineer and Pretender. Well, not Pretender, but we're gonna take out Engineer. We're bringing in Mark of Asylum. Anyway, there was a card called Brutal Expulsion in whatever Eldrazi set we were playing. And he cast it against me in such a dominant game-winning fashion, then I said that was brutal, and he laughed so hard because of the unintended pun that it scared me. Like, not scared me like, oh, I'm afraid of him. Like, his reaction was just loud and sudden. I didn't get it until much later. Well, much later. 3 seconds later. I don't think Crib Swap is... Well, yeah, no, they're on Jun, so I don't think Crib Swap is where we want to be. Skirk Prospector's probably not that good. And I guess on, you know, for the games where you don't have Harbinger, you cut... or for the games where you don't have Mark of Asylum, you cut a Harbinger, maybe 2, and we can keep in Mog War Marshal for Ragavan. Is there any card I'm missing that's really bad? And I guess we're not. No, I want to keep this for the haste that it gives, just because these games end up going long. And we'll just submit like this. That's probably fine. Yo. How are you doing, Kalante? We just embarrassed this guy. So, Bloodline Pretender is a funny one. Bloodline Pretender is here for 2 reasons. One of which we just sided out. It's here as a tutorial artifact that you can sacrifice to Goblin Engineer. That, well, not really. No, it doesn't. It only buffs itself. So it can get pretty big. And we're ephemerating things, so, you know, it can actually get huge. Which may come up, probably won't. If I was playing a casual, whatever the fling land is, it would come up more often, I'm sure. So it's there for a tutorial thing that you can get the sack with Goblin Engineer, so you can bring back a Pyre of Heroes. That's basically... do we have enough good ones? Well, we have a lot of sideboard ones that... I think I'm going to keep this. I think you just keep this. We have enough good sideboard ones that you can just dump them all main, and then you get to play Ephemerate, which is really good. We're finding out, though. I mean, I just crushed whoever that was. But that's pretty rare, but... Yeah. I mean... The reason I'm playing a league in the first place is because the people in the tournament practice room stood no chance against this deck. Like, it was good enough that they weren't gonna win. Like, ever. So to get real testing, here we are. This is one of the reasons that, Vile is worse than it's ever been. Because we played a turn 1 Aether Vial and we just fell behind. A lot. One of these days, or one of these, any minute now, I'm gonna put way too much wasabi on one of these pieces of sushi and have a bad time on camera. We would not have been able to block no matter what. Did they do that in the wrong order? I think they did. Well. So, we're gonna have to try to win the long game here. Well, not great for us. We, needed to draw a land or a low-cost spell, which we have plenty of. We may just lose this. Three card types over there. Oh, that's sick. I mean, playing with people who don't care about proxies kind of the only way to enjoy Magic anymore, if you ask me. Like, I don't know, I use the word enjoy purposefully. You can obviously play it other ways, but like, you'll get so invested in the ban list and what you should buy and how the release cycle is now that it won't be fun to play with the cards that might actually be fun. I think that's a big reason that there's a lot of resistance in general to brewing right now, which is a little bit sad. We're obviously way, way behind right now, by the way. But it's a little bit sad because I think people are just like sort of hoping not to have to buy new cards. So when you say, well, now you have to play Grist, or now you have to play, or you have to not play your $40 Aether Vials, they're like, you know, I hate you because you're telling me the truth, but I don't like it. We really got to draw some bangers. That's sort of a banger. You think they have Lightning Bolt? Oh, don't even look. I don't know if it's me, because I think it's them. So I was streaming this straight to the Discord yesterday because of that conversation about brewing that came up. So here I could get, and probably just should get, Chain Whirler and, you know, make them have it. They'll be able to save one of them, but I don't know. Oh, I guess their Ragavan's gonna have Trample. That's gonna suck. But they won't be able to get past my Chain Whirler when I actually get my Vial up. But yeah, I think I used to think that it was me rubbing people the wrong way, but then I realized there's just a resistance to brewing, even from people who are good players and own all the cards. I don't know what it is. I think they feel like you're wasting their time. I don't know, but definitely been coming up a lot more just because, I don't know. It's not that our deck is in a horrible spot. I know, and that used to annoy me when I went to Discords because I was like, yo, why are you hitting me with this nonsense? I'm here for the hardcore, you know, the real stuff. But when there's no real stuff, you know, the people left are like, well, I guess we got to do what we can to figure this out. So we're definitely going to pump up to 3 here. A land would not be a bad draw. Snoop is also not a bad draw. I'm just going to play it. They kind of have to kill Snoop, which is usually the case. I mean, obviously we're going to tick up to 5 here on our way. Well, I don't know about obvious, but people just, I don't know, they just don't like brewing. But it's not bad to be stagnant if you have the best deck. Although it might still be bad to be stagnant if you have the best deck. But what are we holding on to? You know what I mean? I saw somebody, they said it directly to me, like, why are you brewing? The deck is already putting up good results. Which, even if the deck was putting up good results, you know, not a reason not to brew, right? Not a reason not to try and improve. But it's not like we're an S tier deck. I mean, people get 5-0s, but we haven't seen a top 8 in a long time. I don't know if you can take a guess who made the last top 16 in a modern challenge. Yeah, every time I try and fail too, but one of these times, bound to work. Am I supposed to let them do this? I can't let them do this. Right? Now, maybe they have another kill spell, but, like, I have to do this before they can pump their Dragon's Rage Channelers up to 3/3s. You know, if you can guess what the last top 16 appearance was from Goblins in a modern challenge, you'd be surprised, is all I'll say. Because it's me. It's me 5 months ago in May. The last time somebody top 16 to anything. On Magic Online. There haven't been really paper tournaments, so it's hard to point at any results like that. We're dead here. Yeah, we're dead here. They go right over the top and they can't even not do it by mistake. So maybe we kept a bad hand. I'm not really sure, but it was close. You know, if they didn't have that bolt, it's not lethal. Maybe if they didn't have the second Ren and 6, but they would probably. It's so hard not to get there, because their cards are just so good, right? But yeah, I mean the other people who used to play the deck a bunch and like actually have good results and they're competitive players. Like that's why they stopped playing it when they couldn't get good results. Like Cactus, like they just stopped playing instead of trying to brew it. And I took the other method, other path, option. I think our sideboard plan is fine. Maybe we want to have Leyline, but I don't think so. This is one of those situations where Rest in Peace would be better. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't know if Chieftain deserves to be in there. But this deck, like, look at how good Mark of Asylum's going to be here. Any Goblin, and we'll be able to find our combo, right? And that's the appeal of it. So, and I said, look how good Mark of Asylum's going to be here, and I said a whole bunch of things that referenced Pyre of Heroes. But what I mean is, you'll actually be able to go for the combo, because all their removal is damage based. I'm sort of a coffee connoisseur. I wouldn't say that my palate is refined, but I do like going to get good coffee. Now, I don't know what pocket coffee is. No. I've never heard of it. So here I'm kind of forced to play either Pyre or Mark of Asylum. So I have to think about what I want to do on the next couple turns, because the chances of them not being able to kill just a naked Conspicuous Soup is basically 0. So if I play Pyre, they could Kolaghan's Command it before I get a chance to use it. If I play Mark, next turn I can play Goblin and definitely block. But when I say Goblin, I mean Matron. So I guess let's do that. And we already have all our colors of mana. So we'll just play this Cavern. Play Mark of Asylum. We'll fall a little bit behind the Ragavan. By the way, we lost that last game to Ragavan, basically. You know, they tempoed us out because they made so much extra mana. And we couldn't deal with it. So obviously if they have Fatal Push or something like that, Mark of Asylum is dead. Not good. But I'm assuming they're not playing too much more than the 8 Lightning Bolt type cards, so it should be good. The sushi is pretty good. I don't normally get it from this place, but kind of hit the spot. Guy's being kind enough to play so slow that I can eat pretty often, too. That's why they made these this way. They don't hold together as well. Italian chocolate candy. I'll take a look for that, because that sounds really good. I've been eating way too much candy recently. So this is kind of bad. They should take Pyre of Heroes, but it's all pretty scary. So now they're banking on... Oh, so they have Pithing Needle. I wonder if they name Pyre or Snoop here. They name Pyre. So we can still combo them. And we draw Matron to make it happen. So they're kind of priced into finding a way to kill us before we can combo at this point. Maybe another Thoughtseize would be a little bit painful here, because they would take the Matron that we drew. But you know, if their plan is just hit us with Ragavan, activate their Urza Saga, we're probably okay. This is... I already told you I was going to do something a little bit too spicy. Here it comes. Not even really spicy. It's not really the word for what wasabi is. Also getting 1,000 text messages. So, Lingang on top after they stole our chieftain, which means that I should no longer auto yield in case. Well, it doesn't really matter, but 1 point of damage and 1 point of life is probably the more relevant part here. I wonder what they even do. Like, I'm pretty sure next turn I'm just gonna play Matron and find Harbinger and hope they don't have Fatal Push. Like, that's... I mean, just leverage Mark of Asylum before they can kill it, right? Or get another Pithing Needle, but I doubt they play 2 Pithing Needles, right? So... and we'll grab the other half of our combo. We can look for the combo in response to some sort of removal spell or impending doom type event. But we're definitely not drawing this fetch land, right? We don't want that. So there's their construct. They have 5, 6, 7 damage in play as is. Doesn't kill us unless they have like triple bolt. We'll be blocking a Ragavan. I don't know what... You probably should just float mana here because you know the construct doesn't kill me. Float mana, equip something with lifelink to... Or trample lifelink to get Ragavan through. So it's like kind of mana neutral, and then who knows what else. That's my guess. And when you're playing bad decks, you have to play your opponent's deck to have a good time. I have to cancel that auto yield. How do I do that? There should be a hotkey. I don't think I have it bound. Just because I want to be able to shuffle this land away. So you're getting Mishra's Bauble looking for, you know, whatever. But that says to me they don't have it. Should I pretend to block with Snoop for the disrespect? I'm not going to. I mean, I'll block Goyf. Just keep us that much further away from the ridiculous bolt you out. They target themselves, which I guess they're just determining, oh, because they have a fetch land. Okay, so it is relevant. They seem to be okay with it. We'll crack here. We'll grab the Vi, because why not? Bring Lear off the top, not the worst thing in the world. If somehow this doesn't work out, and it really should, we'll be able to refill after playing Sling Gang, but I think in the face of Mark of Asylum, you got a Pithing Needle Snoop, but you also have to imagine that I have artifact removal, which I out. I don't remember. Well, we're not going to give them the opportunity to counter our spells. We'll make blue mana to assert dominance. If they have Fatal Push, exactly Fatal Push, you know, Snoop is dead, but we've shut off 8 of their removal spells, and that's good enough for me. I'm not even sure that they play Fatal Push, so just going for it. Not winning any other way at this point. They have Doomblade. Oh my god, actual Doomblade, actual factual Doomblade. Interesting. That's like, yeah, it could have been Fatal Push, so it's like I can't really complain. But you know, the reason we're playing Mark of Asylum is to dodge all of the spells that aren't Doomblade that they play many of. But here we are, getting wrecked. So we're gonna take about 1 million here. Can we win? 7-8. Taking, probably just can't really kill Ragavan at this point, but chumping feels bad. But if I can't even activate Pyre, I think we're dead if we don't draw exactly artifact removal. And I took a Crater Maker out, not expecting Shadow Spear to be what did me in, but I should have probably boarded better than that. But I mean, you know, we did what we could based on what we saw. We can't stop this Trampler. It is what it is. I don't think we boarded fantastically, but I also don't think we lost that game by that much. You know, it's one of those things where, like, if your cards lined up better with the removal spell they happen to keep, you're in a much, you win. So, don't feel too bad losing that match, but also don't think we played it perfectly either. I mean, we played the games and the cards themselves fine. I don't think we sideboarded well. And that's part of why we're running this league, to figure out what a good sideboard strategy and set of cards would even be. What we're weak against, that sort of thing. If I go 0-3, probably won't drop, but I probably won't finish the league on stream. I'll just end up going for the night. But all in all, even in that, I mean, we got sort of a slow start. Could have mulliganed for faster start hands. And that's sort of the state of Modern against that type of deck. I probably wasn't making the best mulligan decisions. But there were hands we really can't throw back. Like Vile, Pyre, Snoop. Those are some of the strongest cards that you can play on turns 1 and 2 in the deck. So this is a Lurrus deck, and we have Ephemerate plus Chain Whirler, and we have Aether Vial, so I'm going to keep it. Because on turn 3, we'll be able to play Chain Whirler. It looks like it's Hammer and not anything else. So, you know, that sucks. Also, I didn't realize, I should have, but if I want to play Chain Whirler on 3, I'm gonna have to play this first. So we shock down to 17. Well, Chain Whirler's good against that card, but it's gonna have drawn at least one card by then. Well, I guess there goes that. That's one of the things that's really hard about Modern right now. Okay, they're not afraid of Chain Whirler. Interesting. Or they just have another way to get past it. But you can't really know what kind of deck you're up against just by seeing what they reveal off of their companion, which is both cool and not cool. Like, here I am on Yorion and it's Goblins. So they had the same problem. But yeah, difficult to... We were right that it was Colossus Hammer, but, you know, I sort of expected a Jundish type deck like we had, but we're about to get comboed. So this is one of those decks specifically that the regular just combo black-red Goblins is better against, right? I guess we can chump here, so like we shouldn't just give up. So we'll play this. I'm assuming that they revealed that Colossus Hammer, yeah. Kind of just probably not top decking the shit out of us, but all the cards they got off Bob are what they played, or all the cards they chained together off Bob. So we have to block here to not die. We take 1. We get Colossus hammered, and so that was sort of a nut draw, but we also had not good interaction. But we should have some decent interaction here, in the form of Thoughtseize, Fury, what have you. We want to combo ASAP. Chumping is okay. Ephemerate might be like, I don't know, not good enough. And maybe you can shave on a Pyre. Chain Whirler, you could see, was pretty bad, actually. And we're not attacking for the win, so Chieftain comes out. Probably don't want to play a very long game with ringleaders and stuff. I'm willing to bet that it's wrong to keep in, like, Dark Dwellers, but I'm not sure. Engineer is just too slow. I'm between removing the last Goblin Ringleader and the Dark Dwellers, and I think the first of both of these cards has a lot more utility than the second of either of them, so I'm gonna go with that. But we might just get wrecked here by Hammer, which regular Goblins has a fantastic matchup against, and we might still have a great matchup against. I'm not sure. So we reveal our Yorion companion. And they reveal their Luris. We have to mulligan this. Doesn't have any interaction, even though it has outs to draw combo. This has outs to draw combo, but it's kind of really bad. No sideboard cards. Something you can play, by the way, is Stony Silence, although it doesn't get past Sigarda's Aid. You can also play Prismatic Ending, and we're not. Maybe we should. I think I have to mull this, because this, like, is pretty bad. It's like neither of the game plans we want to be on are the quote-unquote good cards that we'd be mulling away. We're just hoping to draw a Snoop in our 80-card deck, so let's mulligan. This is much better. I think here, just given the texture of our hand, we have to throw back Cavern. And Crib Swap is good, and Ephemerate doesn't do anything except protect Snoop, which is less important. We kind of need to draw Land Harbinger to get there. And maybe that's a reason, because Ephemerate's bad, we throw back Rugged Prairie and Ephemerate and just go like this. Yeah, this is better. We'll throw this into play. Tapped, I think is correct. If they Sigarda's Aid here, plus Memnite, maybe that was wrong, but I don't know. There you go. Now we have to hold up Tarfire. Can't play Snoop. Can't play Thoughtseize. And that's going to be a problem for us. You really do want to turn 3 combo like as often as possible. It's not when they cast, right? That's not an equipment. So we're just gonna kill this. So I don't even have an opportunity to combo if I play the Snoop. So we'll just play out the Aether Vial. First time the mana has felt bad, but you know, is what it is. So there goes Crib Swap, I imagine. It just doesn't do anything. Okay. Betting I won't draw a land. Although, probably just confident that they're going to kill me with, you know, the nonsense they make from Saga. So we're really testing if our game plan is good enough for these grindy game plans. Because, like, for a long time here, I've been under the opinion that, you know, we kind of need to win sort of fast because we can't play the long game against so many of these decks. Kind of bearing out, but we'll see. So, I mean, they know that I have this. Doesn't matter what order I do it in. So they swing for 16. We crib swap it. They get a 1/1. Take 5. And we have to hope to top deck. But I don't want to be a broken record. you know, this is why Aether Vial is bad. We're just now getting it up to 2, and we've already narrowly dodged losing the game twice. So, like, it just is too slow for a lot of the game plans being enacted these days. Do I even play this munitions expert? I think I have to, because if I take a bunch of damage, how do I beat the rest of it? I think. Like, then this is lethal, right? I take 6 this turn, then the other 2 attackers are lethal even without them drawing anything. We'll tick up, because I don't actually... we're not playing Trashmaster, I think, in the sideboard. Maybe we should. Especially if we're looking to play the longer game. The 4 mana is, like, basically irrelevant. We are just dead as it stands, I think. So... I'm gonna do this and take a look at their hand, but we're dead. I mean, that's part of playing the 80 cards. You're gonna be less consistent off the jump. Just, and how we beat that deck is just, you know, having easy turn 3 combos, which you're not gonna have with this version. So don't play this version if you're expecting to see hammer. I think we also mulled to 5, right? So, like, you know, sometimes it happens, but your deck can't produce keepable 7s. That's a problem itself, but we have keepable 7s. We just didn't. Which is what it is. That might speak to our sideboard plan being bad. I don't know how white decks normally deal with hammer. Usually they are hammer. So I don't know, but I don't feel bad about either of those matches we just lost. Like, sort of what to expect. I do feel bad about this opening hand. This is a risky run, but we'll keep this. This is pretty solid. I think as far as ephemerate targets, you know, Slingang and Matron are really up there if we draw a white land. And Bloodline Pretender just kind of doesn't do anything except be big. Or pyre into other things, but, you know, a lot of things have to go right for that to happen. As it stands, we're probably just slamming a turn 2 Snoop and seeing what happens. But Nick DC Sachs is mulliganing to 5 cards in the O2 bracket along with us. He's 1-1 though. I don't know if he's picking which 5 to keep. Yes, that was what was taking so long. We probably passed a turn there and didn't put Yorion in our hands, by the way. And, like, maybe that cost us the game. I don't remember, but I totally forgot that I could put Yorion in my hand. So, gotta pay more attention to that. Not that it would have mattered, but I didn't do it. Not really what you want to get off the top. Also not really what you want to get off the top. Opt kind of smells of Storm, which is weird. I did play Storm in the practice room the other day. It could also be Twiddle, which is also Storm, but basic Kaldheim Islands Go, sort of a strange one. I'm gonna run my Mog War Marshal into this counter spell because I'd rather them counter this than anything else. They don't, because they know that. Just F6 and pass. Wouldn't it be something to 5-0 with an 80 card Yorion deck that couldn't even cast Yorion. That would be... Maybe we should do that someday. So we know we're not going to be able to play anything in our hand, so we're definitely paying Echo. Oh boy, is that a bad top deck. Should we be playing Unearth? No, I do think we should be playing Vile in this version, but... Oh boy, is that a bad top deck. Cards like this are why we're playing Mark of Asylum. They don't have a fourth land, just like we don't have a third. Gonna get countered or stolen. We'll see. They know we have it, so... I imagine the only reason they're not countering it is because they plan on stealing it. But we'll continue to beat down. There you go, Prismark Command, main deck, guys. Main deck. Aether Vial is just the worst it's ever been, but at least Prismark Command targeted Aether Vial and not this, but we'll see. So is this that combo? The Emrakul Dominant Electro, not Electro. You know the one. It's called Polymorph, but not. So, play your cards first when it doesn't matter. That when it does matter, you may be able to drag something out of them. Turns out, couldn't. I did no analysis on whether or not I have enough white sources, by the way. It just wasn't a problem when I played in the practice games ever. Because, like, you usually have a fetch land and you just grab a Savai Triome, but it is what it is. I suppose, oh, I guess you just get Crib Swap? Or, no, Emrakul has protection from colored spells, so that doesn't work. But it might not be Emrakul. If it's not Emrakul, I'll wish that I had gotten Crib Swap. Although, if I do draw a white land, Ephemerate plus, like, Ringleader would be fantastic, but... you know, if they don't do something like Polymorph, we're gonna win this game anyway, so... Just grab Crib Swap. This has been a good concert. 74 was a good year for the Grateful Dead. They had one drummer at the time, apparently. Usually they have two, which is a little bit nuts. I always hope that they're going to target me with that. They never do. I suppose because of Cedric Phillips, it's his fault. No, that's a joke. That's the infamous Esper Charm story if you've never heard it. Esper Charm only has one mode that targets players, and it is target player discards a card. There is a mode that also on it says draw 2 cards, but not target player draws 2 cards. So somebody cast Esper Charm targeting themselves, confirmed it over and over again. Yes, targeting me. And so he cast it. Cedric calls a judge. Makes him confirm it. And it's like, yep, there's only one mode that targets. You have to discard a card. And the guy was just like, well, you got me. People hate him for that story. Even though the guy he did it to, just like, well played. That's part of the public magic consciousness, I guess you'd call it. What the hell is going on in their hand? They're about to... They must be about to kill me with Polymorph, right? And they're going to do it here at instant speed to try and get me, but then that's going to tap them out, and I'm going to kill them with Sling Gang Lieutenant. Let's hope that that's what's about to happen. Valakut's Awakening. Okay. What? I guess still have Counterspell up? Also, 4 lands, no white lands. They drew 3 cards. So they discarded 2 of them. That plus Valakut's Awakening. They just let this happen. I have to go for the win, right? So we'll do it. If I don't, Denison will be mad at me. Denison says I always guess what's in their hand instead of just jamming. And he may be right that I lose myself more games than I win by trying to guess. But I think that's because I'm a bad guesser. Not because I shouldn't be guessing. So unless they have... who are they targeting with Bolt? Maybe they don't think that I know. But once they've cast that, they are dead. Just because Faithless Mending, they couldn't have it anymore. Only 1 mana open, and none of it even possibly white. So Mark of Asylum coming in here. Raider Maker coming in because I believe they play Emrakul, and Thoughtseize coming in. I think that the Kiki combo is probably pretty unlikely. I think Tarfire does next to nothing. I think Munitions Expert is probably really bad. We'll take that out. Mogwar Marshal, you know, it was pressure, but it's not good. Engineer, probably too slow. By the same token, maybe I'm supposed to shave 1 each Pyre of Heroes Bloodline Pretender, but if we have Mark of Asylum, something like Chieftain is going to be good. Chain Whirler, not that great. Ringleader, okay. Not fantastic, but okay. Maybe I just take out all of the Munitions Experts except 1 as, like, you know, toolbox card. Sometimes they do play. I think we'll also take out just the 3rd Ringleader. Call it there. Call it good enough there. I don't really know what they've got going on over there. I'm not going to look it up either. I think this is like a can't mull, can't win hand. So can't mull it. We'll see if we can win. The Savai Triumph, a little bit awkward here, but I'm sure we'll find an opportunity. Do you turn 1 Thoughtseize against these people? No, right? We already have all our colors of mana, but I don't think I want to get... I mean, I don't know what I want to get with this. And I need to play Aether Vial this turn. If I want to play Mog War Marshal next turn, I'm going to have to dock something in one way or another. Well, that's not. Yeah, that is true. Let's just mount an Aether Vial. It looks like we're gonna turn 3 Thoughtseize is my guess, but I'm not sure. If this is it'd be expressive iteration, but they wouldn't play it here. They're having mana troubles if that's what they led on. So. And they ice us. Okay. So it looks like we are Thoughtseizing here. So that's good to know. Had we put Bloodstained Mire into play, we couldn't have Thoughtseized. So that's another good to know. Oh, but then we won't be able to Ephemerate and Mog War Marshal next turn. You know what? I believe we're just going to Savai Triumph here. Instead of Thoughtseizing, just because we're like priced into it. We're not. We don't need to use our mana every turn. You saw how we won last game. If this isn't a blue land, I'll be shocked. There it is. Don't know what they're on over there. Just assuming some kind of blue-red Kiki Murktide control type monstrosity. Although I didn't board like that was the case, so I actually was assuming it was polymorph. But all right, so this is why maybe I should have Thoughtseized, but also I didn't think of that. I maybe should have valued protecting this Thoughtseize. Or valued protecting this Vial, excuse me, with Thoughtseize. But it is what it is. I just play poorly. And we try to win in spite of it. So here we are. Mark of Asylum is good, but I have no goblins in play. So we'll wait on that. I'm going to lead on Thoughtseize. And then we'll know what we want to play. Snapcaster, Archmage's Charm, Alpine Moon. Which, what is that about? What utility land do I have that this is good against me? I don't understand. So Counterspell and Snapcaster Mage are the tough ones. They're going to have Counterspell up next turn one way or another. Either through Archmage's Charm. Or Snap Flashing back Counterspell. So I think we just have to take the card advantage route here. And take Archmage's Charm. And then we will... Because we have 2 white cards in hand, we'll fetch a Sacred Foundry here. Yeah, they're probably going to counter my Ephemerate, is my guess. If I play Mog War Marshal this turn. I think I actually, assuming I have enough time, I think it's actually better if I play Mark of Asylum now. And then next turn, I play Mog War Marshal and hold up Ephemerate. Just because of the timing I may get them to do on tapping out for a counterspell or something. Or I'll then be able to resolve Ringleader. So we'll see. You can also Ephemerate in response to your Echo trigger. Like, what is this Alpine Moon about? What is he going to name? It must have just been a mistake. Oh, Cavern. Okay. I guess they're a control deck, so it makes sense. Spreading Seas obviously would have been better in this context. We know that they have Counterspell. So, you know, here goes. Maybe Mark of Asylum, like, you know, not the best here. But what would I have brought in instead? I don't know. I do not know. I was honestly confused by Alpine Moon. The Cavern of Souls thing didn't even occur to me. I assume you name Cavern of Souls again. Why give me just even better mana? Yeah, there's also something to be said for naming Bloodstained Mire, because it's gonna give me all the. I have perfect mana anyway, and now Bloodstained Mire doesn't let me reshuffle with Snoop. If we draw a land, I'm just gonna pay Echo. It worked so well last game, like, why not? And there's the if we draw a land, this is bad, but do I just hold it up, or do I put something on top of my library that's just great no matter what? With Harbinger. I mean, they have Snapcaster and Counterspell in hand. They've played this, they've played this. So all we know is Snapcaster, Counterspell, and one unknown. If we play... Yeah, if we play Boggart Harbinger, it just lets them Counterspell and then hold up Snapcaster Counterspell. So maybe this will mess with their mana a little bit more. And when I say mess with their mana, I mean like force them to waste some mana. They drew that Cascade Bluffs. So I wonder if they're gonna ambush Viper me here and cast Archmage's Charm. My guess is probably yes. That seems like pretty good. We attack. Not gonna cast into Counterspell. Have other things to do. Now here, even if they do cast Counterspell, they can't really make use of all their mana. And if this resolves, I get to stack my deck. You know, it's not gonna resolve, but that's fine. I think we do need to get it out of their hands and not allow them to snap Archmage's Charm for 2 cards. In that way, this is card advantage. So they're going to snap Archmage's Charm probably for 2 cards anyway, looks like. What they're looking for, I'm not sure. I mean, other than card draw, counter spells, etc. We haven't actually seen their win con. We get to stack our deck here, which is good. We have to remind ourselves not to crack this once we stack our deck. I mean, I think the best thing to get is either Crib Swap or Ringleader, and we don't even know what combo they're on. I assume it's Emrakul. How could it not be Emrakul the way they've played? You know, Valakut's Awakening allows them to discard it. Yeah, it's Emrakul. So I guess it's sort of hard. I mean, I'm just supposed to get Crater Maker. That's what it comes to. Counterspell 1 unknown in hand. If it's Valakut's Awakening, they get to draw 2 cards. But then they'll just have 2 random cards. I guess 3 random cards they'll have because they just drew. We're just going to attack straight into this. Not worry about Boggart Harbinger. We may get them to fire off Counterspell if we ephemerate Boggart Harbinger, but that's kind of dumb, right? Let's attack. We're just going to trade our Boggart Harbinger for a Snapcaster Mage and keep doing damage. I don't see a line to resolve Ringleader here. Before combat, I mean. So we'll do that. They'll counter this. And then hopefully they just have the one counter spell. And then, oh, I shouldn't be wasting this. That was kind of dumb. Like, that proves that they're on Emrakul, which I guess is worth proving. But now we have Mark of Asylum, so they can't even kill this Ringleader. So, like, why do... I don't have to hold up Ephemerate, what it comes down to. And our mana's fine. We'll just grab them out. But, like, we resolved a Ringleader, which is more pressure. They only have 2 unknowns in hand. They're looking for Prismari Command or Emrakul. Well, that's not good. I mean, I kind of would have loved to have drawn any of those cards except Aether Vial. It is what it is. We're going to be able to ephemerate this Ringleader next turn, so really not a big deal. Yeah, so there's Valakut's Awakening. They're only going to get to draw 2 off of it, assuming they discarded. As draws... Yeah, they drew 1 card. They just cycled it. So they're really looking for ways to win the game here. They probably have the Polymorph spell in their hand. That or Prismari Command. And they're just looking for a way to have that happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you ephemerate post or pre-combat here. On the off chance we get, you know, a Lord. Because we do have plenty of mana. Even if we get another Ringleader. You know, that's something. So we'll ephemerate this. They can counter it. They don't. Wow, just 8 straight whiffs. Okay. I suppose there's always next turn. I'm not going to play this Cavern of Souls out. That's, unfortunate, I guess is the word for that. We'll ephemerate this Ringleader again, though. Are we just dead? No. I think we can... There's a lot of spells we can hit that beat them even if they polymorph for Emrakul right now. So, one of them being Sling Gang Lieutenant. And we have it uncounterably because of Cavern. Oh, no. They played Alpine Moon. Whoops. I was saying Spreading Seas would be better, and then I played it as if they had played Spreading Seas, but Alpine Moon means they don't have to wait for me to draw it. Go. In the wheel a third time. 40 out of our 80 cards are goblins. No, 36. That's a little bit lower, but it's not so low that you'd expect to whiff on that many straight cards. So there it is. There's the card we were trying to hit last turn in Chieftain. They know we have it, so like kind of can't not play it. Want to know if it gets countered before I decide what to do with Harbinger. Although the game's not over after Chieftain. We're just finding what are they? What are the modes? They're drawing and discarding and making a treasure token. Are they going to put Emrakul out? Is that the idea here? Do I have a way to beat that? Okay, I don't need to. So we won one match against not much of a deck, but one match. When I say not much of a deck, I struggle against that deck with regular goblins. I don't think we did anything super special there, except play 3 ringleaders for 5 mana. But I don't know. It didn't feel worse than usual. There's that. Ark of Asylum actually made it so that we were really unafraid. Prismari Command, you know, couldn't dismantle our board state. And that, by the way, is the only card in this sideboard that is like pretty much a definite yes. Ark of Asylum, like that is, I would say, the main reason that I was like excited to build this deck. So, reveal Yorion. They reveal Luris. I guess you keep this. I mean, this could be Hammer again, right? So a turn 2 Snoop may go unanswered. They're also expecting Yorion, so who knows what they do with their first turn. Looks like another black-white Hammer deck. I'm gonna grab Savai Triome, probably Anti's Hovel to snoop into play, and maybe I wasn't supposed to have played the Mesa because it gives me a redraw with the Snoop, and that's almost definitely the case actually. I played it to hide information, but I could have played the basic mountain the same way, so I should have done that. But here comes Snoop. Now they could have Prismatic Command main. Prismatic, is it Command? It's not Prismatic Command. Prismatic Ending. Prismatic Ending main. Phoenixicon. But I don't actually know Hammerless inside and out. I like this plains. Good plains. If they're on an Urza Saga plan, we're usually faster than them. Especially now that we have Matron, we're gonna beat Needle by 1 turn. Really important that you're on the play. So definitely playing this Matron and uncounterably, I guess, since I already played it. I actually don't know if that was the correct land to play. So we grab Harbinger here. And we could attack for 2. Whenever one or more of our... yeah, I mean, they don't have any 0-mana flash artifacts, and I'm not blocking, so... Having the Snoop on top is actually good, because if, let's say, they Prismatic Ending my Snoop here, I get to play another Snoop and Munitions Expert their Ingenious Smith. And then we're just in the game where we're looking to remove Pithing Needle. Yeah, they can hit me for, you know, as much as they want here. It doesn't actually matter. When I say as much as they want, as long as it's less than 20, I'm okay with it. They draw a card. They already played their land for turn. I actually don't think they have a way that they can possibly not be dead from here. They don't even have Metalcraft. Interesting. Yeah, that's okay. I'll take 2. Probably shouldn't take 2, but I guess they could gut shot me. And that's a had it moment. For anybody who's wondering, I mean, I searched for it, but you know, I like to acknowledge when I also had it. Anyway, so here We comboed once earlier, right? So I should have explained it then, but I like to explain it the first time I remember in a video. You use Boggart Harbinger to stack the top of your deck with a Goblin. Snoop gets that ability. Kiki-Jiki's ability gets to copy non-legendary creatures you control. Normally that stops Kiki-Jiki's ability from copying the creature that activated it, because it's usually Kiki-Jiki. But when Snoop has the ability, it can copy itself. You do that over and over again just to get cannon fodder. Fling shot, if you will. So then once we get enough goblins, which in this case is 16, and this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. So this is enough. Turn off auto yields. You make a copy of Boggart Harbinger. You stack the top of your deck again. I remember reading this combo for the first time. I was like, that is not good enough, and it takes up so much of your deck. But really, the only part of your deck that it takes up are the Boggart Harbinger slots. Because you'd want to be playing the rest of those cards anyway in a Goblins deck. So they're on Hammer. We kind of boarded poorly against Hammer last time, I think, right? I think we just want all of these. Ephemerate, like, less good. Ringleader, not great. Probably take that out. We'll leave as many munitions experts as we can. There's, like, off chances that Pain Whirlers are good. You know what? Ephemerate actually might be better than some of the other things we might keep in. Like, Engineer's really, really slow. Especially for bringing in Fury. You want to keep the Ephemerates. Vials are actually way too slow, and they can get Prismatic Ending. So, like, maybe this is, like, just where you take out Vial? Because everything else I could conceive of wanting. Whereas Vial, it's like, do I win that game? Maybe we shave 2 of these. 1 of these. But this helps get us the combo. Like, yeah, it's turn 4, but whereas Vial also helps you combo on turn 4, it's only if, like, they didn't remove it, but they're gonna, well, maybe Mog War Marshal can, no, because you can chump. They only have a couple flyers. We're not likely attacking through them. I think Vial is a tiny bit slow. You know what? Vial and Pyre, I'm going to shave 1 of each of you. Skirk Prospector doesn't really do a ton of anything, does it? Starts off your Pyre chain to find you a Snoop, so maybe it's important to have 1. Let's just cut, like, Bloodline Pretender? No. We have about 10 seconds to make the decision. The rest of it I'll spend talking, not being able to think. Yeah, let's shave 1. Kept an Ephemerate over Vial because of Fury. Fury has a chance to really set them behind. So Yorion has not come up yet, just by the way. So here's a hand where, you know, you could conceive of keeping it if this was an actual red-white land. Here, if we draw land, we win. But that's, like, pretty unlikely on 1. We'll mulligan. This hand is the last hand, but worse. So we'll mulligan to 5. That first hand looking pretty good right about now. I think I'm going to mulligan to 4. I don't think I can keep any of these hands. We'll keep this one. We have a Virtual Splinter Twin. And by that I mean we have War Marshal, Munitions Expert, but we're likely dead. That first hand had the best chance of winning. But I don't know if any of these hands would. But we're gonna get to block this Esper Sentinel, I think. So we'll play Savai Triome. Next turn we're gonna play Mog War Marshal. They could nut draw us and just Sigarda's Aid into Colossus Hammer. They choose to just play Colossus Hammer. Looks like they're on a 1-lander themselves. So that's good news for us. Wow, do I hope we draw a land. Because Chain Whirler is pretty decent on this board, in this board state. So, land please, and not a basic that doesn't tap for red. But any of the other 30 lands in the deck, 29 lands in the deck. Not paying Echo. Land. All right. I imagine they're going to concede to this. We have perfect mana already. If I could get a basic mountain, I would, but I can't. So Chain Whirler it is. They probably have some of those 2-mana creatures in their hand, given what they kept. I'm guessing it's going to be the Metalcraft one and not Stoneforge Mystic. But we'll kill that with this. Okay, it's Ingenious Smith, which who knows what it'll find them. If they have some 0-drop artifacts, I imagine they saved them, but it doesn't look like it. So Munitions Expert actually gets them for a lot more than Tarfire. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna attack. We'll see if they chump. Maybe I'm supposed to just attack because that makes it a 3-turn clock. But whenever you cast, no, enters the battlefield. So we're gonna get to play Mog War Marshal here and just save this Tarfire. We'll see if it becomes relevant. If they cast the guy, Pure Steel Paladin. That was 2 separate times I tried to refer to him and I was blanking. They gave me the GG in the chat. 2 and 2. 2 and 2. Good old magic. Yep. That can't even happen to me earlier, so that's is what it is. I don't think they're playing Ephemerate. They said GG. They're still just sitting in their hand, but why can't they play it? They have 2 lands. I'm pretty confused. I mean, at this point, it's bad. But, like, you play it. I don't know. Alright, 2 and 2 with the new brew. That's as good as I do with the old deck, often. So this is our last match. If you're watching live, thank you. I'll say this while I'm not wiping my nose. If you're watching live, thank you for joining us. This is what we do pretty much all the time. We play Goblins. The last month and a half or so, I played Goblins with Grist. And Unearth. And Novile. Today we're playing Mardu Goblins with Yorion. Why aren't you chopping trees? Why are you in the chat? I saw you booted up. I'm gonna join you in about 10-15 minutes. Anyway, this is what we do. If this is your first time here, like I know a couple of you. Oh, Dude Wow 1, you followed. I didn't even see that. Thank you. I don't know why I didn't hear it, but must have been, maybe it was outside when I was getting my sushi, who knows. But thank you for following. If this is your first time here, consider following, like Dude Wow. And if you're watching on YouTube, where I upload this with some wild clickbaity title, you can't keep this hand just for so many reasons. I think that was 4 decks that had Lurrus in them that we played, 2 of them being Hammer. I had sushi for dinner. I was gonna cook, and then I was like, oh, but I want to stream, but I also want to play, you know the name of that game, New World. What do I even keep here? I mean, it's obviously, if I keep the 3rd land, you have to keep the 3rd land. You don't want to sit there like a schmuck and not draw your 3rd land, and you're just like that last guy, right? Alanissimo. They kept 7, Alanissimo. But anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, consider following on Twitch, although maybe I should just stream on YouTube. Like, YouTube actually points your content out to people, and like, you know, why maintain 2 platforms at this point? I don't know. Not like I have a huge, although I have a couple. So, this is Lurrus Burn. Well, I was gonna say every burn deck was very different tonight, but 2 of them were Hammer, so not really that different. We're going to do our best to play as many painless lands as possible. We probably need to crack one of these Bloodstained Mires for a basic Swamp next turn and play Pyre. That's my guess. If they hold up... Okay, so Skewer the Critics is good, but it's not the worst thing they could have done to us on that turn in general. Yeah, I think we grab basic Swamp here. That's what we're looking for. So now, with that and Ephemerate, we are, like, probably in pretty good shape if we get to 4 mana with any kind of life total. This next turn, they could do 6, 7, 8, 9 damage to us, and we're just at 5, and we're probably not winning that game. But we'll see. This mana base a lot... Well, I don't want to say a lot more painful because I don't know the stats or anything like that, but lots of fetch lands, lots of shock lands. Anti's Hovel is smaller as a percentage, and we're not playing any fast land. Maybe we should be. I don't know how to build Yorion mana bases is really what it is. So what I would love to do... What the hell did they just play? Did they just Rift Bolt me? What the hell happened here? Why are they all tapped? Oh, they put Lurrus in their hand. Do I play this Aether Vial? No. I think what I do here is hope to draw another semi-painless land. We'll grab a mountain here, and we'll play Matron. We're probably not blocking. And then next turn, we'll Pyre Matron into a Sling-Gang Lieutenant, and then try to Ephemerate that Sling-Gang Lieutenant. So what do I grab here? Probably just like the max number of goblins I can get, which is either Sling-Gang Lieutenant or Mog War Marshal. I already have a Sling-Gang Lieutenant in hand, but if they kill my Matron, I'm like not happy about that. Then I can't turn it into something else. It's probably just correct to get the second Sling-Gang Lieutenant. I don't know though. This is a close one. This is really close. Not blocking. Still not blocking. Ugh. All right, so that is one of the reasons that we would have wanted Mog War Marshal. As it stands here, might just actually be dead. They deal 5 to us. We can't get this into play we just can't get it into play untapped. Kind of need, yeah, that was not it. I mean, don't know if it was close or not, to be perfectly honest. I guess you just bring in Furies and Marks. And then you don't really want to play a long game. Engineer kind of sucks. Maybe you want Crater Maker. We'll see. Vile is good. It gets you past... Vile and Empire are both good. They get you past Eidolon. Skirk doesn't actually block anything. Doesn't really do much of anything here. Chain Roller's okay. Not great. Chieftain, okay, not great. One Harbinger's fine. The cut, I mean. And Crib Swap is pretty bad. Maybe I should have kept in, like, you know, another ringleader instead of bringing in Crater Maker. I don't know. But we'll see if we can get a hand that does something against Burn. But that Searing Blaze was timely and effective. We will keep this. This is an Ephemerate hand, in case you didn't notice. And it's going to be real good. We'll grab Savai Triome with this Arid Mesa. Next turn, we'll play Snoop out, I guess. And then we'll hope they commit a bunch to the board and we can kill 2 of their things. Maybe we don't even have to wait for them to commit a bunch to the board. Maybe we just do it here. Because it's like a 3/3 double striker they have to kill. And then they can't play anything, so you just do it again. I think that gives us the highest life total, right? Yeah, and then you can play Snoop with... Well, you can't play Snoop with Protection because we drew basic Swamp. But, I think that might just be the play. And we just, like, completely take the initiative? Do you get rid of Snoop or Matron? I think you get rid of Snoop, actually. Yeah, you get rid of Snoop. So it doesn't matter what order you stack the triggers in, but make sure this happens. Now we have a 3/3 double striker. And we definitely want to play a land. We have a 3/3 double striker. They could burn it. But you know, they can't attack past it, and a lot of their best hands do some attacking. Well, there it is. Maybe that's why you don't do it. It's fine that we lose the Ephemerate though, because we have Matron, and we kind of got to use the tempo advantage, I would say. Like, you know, if they kill my Matron, whatever. If they try to attack with a hasty guy, I can block, and you know, probably not losing that much life this turn. And you know, maybe we get to even hold up Ephemerate for this Sling Gang Lieutenant. We'll see. We'll see. Are they just gonna put Lurrus in their hand, or is having the fetch land for Searing Blaze enough for them to just do nothing? Seems like the second one. Another Ephemerate. All right, so we'll attack. We'll hold up Ephemerate. Actually, do I hold up Ephemerate, or do I just attack? Grab something right now. I think I just hold it up. And we may never have to crack this Marsh Flats, although it's unlikely. Maybe I just grab a Savai Triome at the end of turn. Yeah, so what I was talking about, holding up Ephemerate. So We have a Sling Gang Lieutenant. The things they could play on this turn that really hurt us. What? Are they creatures? Do I just get Goblin Dark Dweller and like... Bloodline Pretender actually does some work here. It's probably just get Sling Gang Lieutenant. I'll tell you why. We're probably going to play into a removal spell next turn, even if we don't draw a land. So, like, I think it makes sense to just grab the Sling Gang. They could have triple bolt. I think we just let this die, right? I don't think there's anything worth grabbing and like wasting the ephemerate. So we're at a very low life total. We might just die. We might just die. We dead? Wow, they just had it. That's twice in a row that it's like we're one turn away from stabilizing. Oh well. Burn is burn. Maybe I'm just supposed to have played Sling Gang there to just gain whatever life I can, because that was their last spell in hand. It is what it is. I think that would have been correct. Well, we go 2-3. All in all, deck felt cool. It was fun. Engineer was never even close to being relevant. I'm going to take it out before I ever do anything with that. And because of that, I think I'm going to take out Bloodline Pretender. And we're going to put in Mirror Entity. The Ent. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, well. Costs like 0 tickets. I'll go get it. Mirror Entity, for people who don't know. Like a changeling lord almost. You pump mana into it, creatures become XXs. Anyway. Although if there was a changeling with an ETB at 3 mana, maybe that's a cool idea, but I don't know. Anyway, the deck was fine. Like, I'm gonna keep playing it. We're gonna get better at playing it. I'm sort of out of practice because the deck, I just haven't played a ton of Magic like I used to, and all the decks, they change so often. Like, I make mistakes not knowing what's in their deck. It's been happening a fair bit. But, you know, we beat Hammer, and every other match was really close. I mean, Burn probably could have played it better and won. Did I remove 2 cards? Yeah, I removed 2 cards. What the 80th card is... I was going to say I'm not sure, but I am sure. I don't know if our sideboard is any good at all. Probably almost definitely not good. But I don't know. Hopefully we get some more eyes on the deck, people with ideas. If you have ideas, comment below, come to the Discord, and throw your ideas in everyone's face, please. Let's hear them. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys next time.